still no better place to be. Dad always said, you know, you wanted to have fun when you come to the golf course. Don't stress, don't worry. That was for everybody that worked at the golf course like we did growing up. Kent over here grew up working here, playing golf here. Scott would come in the summer periodically and throw in a bunch of injuries.
James in there.
So we all kind of had different touches with this golf course. Kim lived with us for a while. She was 3 years old, so she got to experience a little of this when it was looked a little different. James has been here a couple of times, smaller, and I've grown up here. You know, Gabby, you came up what, later?
Yeah, it's after.
Later in years to come up here. So this was a dream of a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a friend. And this was Dad's dream to own Bluffton Golf Club. He had worked at country clubs prior and was very unhappy, and this was his dream. And when we took over this place, this was no more than a bar with a golf course accidentally attached. So there was a lot of work, and you guys, you remember coming here when you were little and how things changed.
Yeah.
Kent remembers from growing up here, and this golf course evolved. It got better. Well, then Mom and Dad sold it in 1989 to retire to Tennessee. And Floyd and Drew Young, who are nice enough to let us be here today, they bought it then. And they have transformed this into even a more beautiful golf course than it's ever been. So, you know, Dad and I came up here about 5 years ago, and Dad was just blown away. So it made him happy to know that this golf course went to somebody that took pride in it. So, you know, this is a piece of all of us, our family history. We all have memories. I don't know, Scott, what's your favorite memory?
Just coming. I don't know. I love it off the quick. Coming to visit my aunt and uncle here, and just a very unique place to go visit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And having the fun. And I remember the golf carts more than anything.
The golf carts.
You guys having access to all the toys and going 100
Race-
miles. If
race
you're with
carts.
Chris, you're going 100 miles an hour. With your Dave, you're going 50 miles.
Right.
Can I bend my knee?
Yeah, one was suicidal, one wasn't. You know,
So that's my memories.
that's your memory.
And I have good memories of, you know, so. And Uncle Larry worked very hard here because when I'd stay here, he'd get up in the morning and not be back till 8 as soon as it was dark. He was 12-hour days, so he put his time in here. So.
Yeah, he did. It was a lot of work. People would go, "Oh, your family owns a golf course." Number one, they think you're rich. You're not. Number two, they think all you do is play golf. That's not true. You played golf when work was done, right, Ken?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what's your favorite memory here? I mean,
This place shaped my life, really. My life would have been a totally different thing without being here. All
Right.
summer for, gosh, well, since I was 13 years old. I mean, all the way until I went to college. Just the friends, you know, that met through the whole thing. And it's amazing that we all still, you know, almost 40 years later,
yeah.
keep in touch and
Right.
know what's going on. And it's just, it shaped my life.
Well,
That's the way I look at it.
when Ken came to visit us in Tennessee about 3.5 years ago, Dad said, "I never thought I'd see you again."
Yeah.
And Kent was very much like a son because he was here so much. So, you know, watering greens at night, taking bullet shots to the head from a BB gun. Kent does turn pale white when hit with a BB in the head. And after that happened, after I shot him, accidentally, of course, the next
Yeah, you want to
day,
rephrase that, I think.
the next day
Good catch there.
we went to Doc Chappell,
Yes.
our hippie doctor who used to jog while he played golf. And he had long hair and everything. So we went to Doc Chappell, the three of us. I think Ryan or Keith went with us.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Doc, you can't tell my parents. You can't tell any of our parents." This is back in the day when you could do stuff like this.
Right.
So Doc Chappell took an incision and popped a BB out of his head. So Kent wasn't lying. There's just a lot of really good stories
Why
here.
is your head bleeding, son? I don't know. I just must have scratched it.
Oh my God.
Stop bleeding that bad. So
So
Going upstairs.
we were wild. I know, Craig, you have your memories too.
Yeah, I just remember playing, just coming here was always, because we didn't visit a lot, we were away, but when we did come, we were going to be spending, time with our favorite cousins on my father's side. Like, we're going to have some fun here. It's either inside
We
with the
did.
trains if the weather was bad, or games with your dog, or just all kinds of fun things and adventures we get into, outside. We used to envy you guys, like, oh my gosh, they have so much space, so much fun. You can tear ass, do all this stuff. So yeah.
And here we were complaining. We gotta work. The range balls are not picked up on the driving range, Dave. Damn it! Quit telling me that. I got heckled. Or that area that you mowed wasn't mowed well enough.
Great.
Okay, I would go do it again then. I guess with the same mower. Get out there and do that. So, Kim, you have memories of not only living here but coming here as well, more probably than any of the kids.
Driving the golf golf carts,
Golf carts.
almost off the bridge with Grandpa. God gave him a heart attack. And then
Yeah.
putting with Grandpa on the green.
Right. Yeah, because that was there.
Yeah.
This green was something he built. He and Chris dreamed that and put that together. And they didn't have this nice tee up here though.
Yeah.
Floyd and Drew put this here, and their son Luke.
Isn't that a sand trap too?
It was a sand trap on the right-hand side, where this mound is. That was a sand trap, so you could practice bunker shots.
Yeah.
But we used to, so we'd get done playing golf, and as we got older, we could drink beer. 18, 17, whatever it was.
It was legal back then.
But we'd come out here and get contests going. Who could get closest to the pin? So this became the 19th hole. So it's good to see them still utilizing this. And the landscaping out front of the clubhouse, if you haven't been there, that was Chris's with the waterfalls and everything. It's just they enhanced it. But this was Dad's pride and joy, and I'm so glad to have everybody here. We've got some Skyline chili dogs. Did anybody bring one of Dad's favorite things? Gabby's. Well,
I didn't bring any.
Gabby is our Skyline girl. She worked all through Skyline through high school and into college, and now is officially retired from Skyline. So that's why she didn't bring any. But we thought we'd have a little toast to Dad. Did everybody have a Skyline chili dog? Because that was one of his favorite things. James and I, so we stopped at Sonic yesterday morning. We each get a burrito, which Grandpa liked, and he'd always tear off. Yeah.
Oh, I see him doing that.
Yeah, he did. He had to write the birds' names, and he'd always throw them out some food from Sonic, and that was his morning. So if you went with him, which James did a lot of times, James.
I loved having breakfast with them. They'd go out to Cracker Barrel all the time, or little mom and pop breakfast stores. And I still eat bear claws at work all the time because that was his favorite dish.
So James has picked up the sweet tooth from Grandpa.
He a major sweet tooth.
No, it doesn't stick on him. He's still angular. I think James got to share something with stuff.
Pick
James
it up.
got to share a special moment with Dad going to Murfield Village, 2006.
Yeah, I was 13.
Manny, quit picking things up.
I think he was 13 at the time, and they were honoring Uncle Denny in the memorial tournament. And he got to meet Jack Nicklaus and all these people. I thought it was such a neat thing for him to be able to go do with his grandpa. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I got a flag full of the autographs, Phil Mickelson and everybody that was playing, and they treated us VIP to everything. Walk through the clubhouse, or you like that jacket? You go ahead and have that. And
yeah, James
was
got
awesome.
treated like royalty when he was.
You're like, yeah.
But that was really a neat experience for him, because Jack Nicklaus honors 4 players each year from golf's history. And Uncle Denny said that was 2006. By 2008, Uncle Denny got nominated to the World Golf Hall of Fame. And if you ever get a chance, that's in St. Augustine. So if you go to St. Augustine, Florida, the World Golf Hall of Fame's there, and they've got all your favorite, from Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, down to Denny Shute, who was, way
What
back.
year did he? What year was the year that he won?
He won the 33 British Open. He won the 36 and 37 PGA championships.
Okay.
This is blowing my mind. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
I think he's
me as a golfer.
Well,
I think he and Tiger Woods are the only ones to do back to back.
Right.
Tiger Woods was the last person to do it.
Yeah, he held that consecutive streak till Tiger came in and duplicated it. But I guess when I was real little, I
Maddie?
was always like, yeah, Uncle Denny's this great golfer. It didn't click. When I turned about 13 and started taking golf more seriously and was playing, it clicked who he was, and then I finally got to meet him. And very angular guy, like James. I tell you what, if you look at pictures of Uncle Denny, though, there's family resemblance definitely, but he had very strong forearms. For a small, angular guy, he was very powerful right here. So, but Dad, he started telling me more stories about Grandpa Herman, Uncle Denny. I guess I was finally at an age where I could really understand,
Appreciate it more.
appreciate it more. So, I hope all the family members have a golf picture or something. If you don't, I'll get you something. Even you guys on your side of the family too. But it's part of golf history. It's kind of neat, So it got to me, and but Kent was able to become a PGA pro, and I was too myself, and we owe that privilege really to my dad.
Yeah, we do.
Though we may not be officially in the golf business now, it's still a passion. Maybe so not much as to play as it is to teach the game. Because that's what I learned from my dad. Dad would give free golf lessons every spring up there on that driving range. So it was for beginners and intermediates. Anybody in the area could come, and Dad would teach them for free. And we'd give group lessons, and he had a couple of guest golf pros come in and would help him. But when it rained, we would come downstairs in the clubhouse, and you could actually take a full swing in there, and we had a practice putting green built inside. So it'd be raining outside, and Dad would be in there instructing and showing people how to grip and how to do all that stuff. So it was neat to watch somebody give so much back to a game, because he got to a point where he said, I don't care so much about my game as everybody else learning how to play. So that's good. But anyways, I wanted to keep this light and simple. It wanted to be a happy day. Thank God it didn't rain.
Yeah.
That's what James and I,
You did a great job.
we were going to spread ashes at Mom and Dad's gravesite, and it was pouring down rain.
Did you
So
bring
if we
another
would have
ball?
done it, Dad would have came out and helped.
Awesome.
So we didn't want him to be cold. So we're going to hopefully spread the rest of the ashes down there at the gravesite. And I got to tell you this, because Dad would mention to me all the time, we'd be on road trips together in the later years, and he'd always say, now, don't forget to have my name put on the gravestone with your mom. I'd be like, dude, do you think I'm seriously going to forget having your name put on the gravestone? So we're having that done. Some guy's supposed to be doing that, not me. So anyways, but it's funny, the stuff that comes through my mind taking road trips with Dad. The other day, I'm driving from Pensacola an hour to Gulf Shores to go home, and I think about our last road trip. I didn't think it'd be like this.
I love this.
But even as a kid, my road trip started with Dad as we'd go to the Bengals games, we'd go to the Reds games. I got to go caddy for him in golf tournaments. Then when I became a young golf pro, we played in the pros against each other. And so we had a lot of neat road trips together. And the ones where we played against each other, we often wouldn't talk for a while driving down the road. Because I did not beat Dad till he was like 66 years old. Think about that. All those years when I was younger, I was trying to beat my dad. I couldn't beat him till he was frail. He started, you know, things started changing, and I was finally able to beat him. So, anyways, this is where part of our road trip ends, and I don't think anybody wants to stand downwind, do they?
No.
Yeah.
I love them, but
You
not
want a
that much.
mouthful of dust? I think it's. I'm gonna be gentle about this because I got to save some for mom and dad's grave.
Yeah.
That's what's making me nervous.
Which way's the wind blowing?
It just takes it all off. Hi, Daniel.
It's going that way?
I didn't get to say hi to you.
Okay.
Watch your reverse. Flat back.
Yeah, that would suck.
Do this. I don't want to drop him. Always be a part of this golf course. Always.
What is he doing, Daddy?
I think we can spread them elsewhere too, right?
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of spots on this golf course.
I think I'm gonna save most of it for putting down with mom.
Yeah.
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 That's a good idea.
He'll like that.
I think that's most appropriate.
Maybe throw in some of grandma's favorite
Dad, where's
yogurt
Grandpa?
right over there.
Where's Grandpa?
No, she would.
Remember how he always
Where's
took
Grandpa?
her yogurt?
Mhm.
I can't remember what her
Wait,
favorite
is
flavor
there-
was.
Oh my God.
Sprinkles?
My mom ate like a bird.
Yeah.
She always did. She, you know, and she would eat her yogurt and salad.
Mm-hmm.
But if you,
Uncle Larry would order and then she'd just nibble off the plate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it was always that way, and it's funny because
I don't think
As I-
Skyline chili dogs are her favorite.
no, chili dogs were not her favorite. And you know, it's funny because she used to. I'd get away from the table, and I'd come back from the bathroom or whatever, and mom would have taken a big bite of my sandwich. I was like, damn, every time. So I start dating Julie, and Julie and I are out. We're going to a golf course to play, and we decide we're going to go get some Subway before. So we get in the car, and I put the Subway tuna up there, got it wrapped. And I said, got in the car, and I go, hey, I got to go bathroom. Come back, I wrapped my sandwich. There was a big bite out of it, and I'm like, really? I'm
She was
like,
made
"What?"
for
I
you.
said, what made you do that?
That's pretty
She
good.
goes, I just thought it'd be funny.
That is, I like she
I
wrapped
said,
it back
my
up.
mom did my whole life. And I said, she goes, I just felt like doing it. She goes, I've never done that before. I said, this is the woman, I guess, you know.
Maybe your mom was telling you something there too.
Yeah, no kid. Yeah, exactly. Well, Tim, we were sitting outside this morning. There was a red cardinal. Yeah, they say if a red cardinal flies by, it's your recently lost loved one. And so there was a cardinal in that tree, and I sent that to Julie. You know, I know
Next day,
some people think stuff like that. You're like, I hadn't seen a
We
cardinal.
have never had a lot of cardinals in our yard. This year we've got a lot of cardinals in our yard.
Having coffee. So who wants a chili dog or something? I know Dad does.
Yep.
And,
Gum.
and a beer?
That's what it looked like.
Does anybody want?
I can do beer, I'm not driving
Huh?
myself.
Yeah, I don't drink